Hi, everybody. Hey, this is Dan Boul from 65 Amps, coming at you from North Hollywood, California. And I'm getting some great comments here. I usually log on and chat for a few minutes before we go. Yes, I will change the camera angle, Blaine. There, is that better? No offense, Dan, but all we can see is your face. All right, I'm going to back up a little bit and see what we can do. Get a little better camera angle for you. So yeah, I'm running a few minutes late today. I apologize. And I'm getting fantastic comments from people here. So you have to pardon me if I'm a little loopy today. I have a fever, and I'm already a pretty low IQ guy, and my IQ just went lower. So what I'm doing is I'm playing our new Ventura amp, which is our latest offering in the red line, through our new 412 cabinet, which I think I put some pictures of last week. It's the same rig I played last week. I just thought I'd play some different guitars and try to shake it up a little bit. We're making a lot of Venturas right now, and I know there's a lot of guys out there that have been waiting for them. I'm sorry it's taken so long. Sometimes when you come up with new gear, it's hard to get all the parts and stuff right after NAMM, especially new cabinets, new chassis, new size logos, you know, the whole thing. It's all new custom stuff. So it takes a while. It takes a minute to do that. And the demand for this amp was way larger than we had guessed. So thank you for that. I'm very honored and very flattered. And we've taken a few minutes just to get, I'm getting error messages from Ustream again. We've taken an extra month to kind of get up to speed than what we had planned. So I apologize. I know there's a lot of you guys, I get emails every day from guys waiting for the Ventura. We're about 4 to 5 weeks behind right now. The good news is we're making them like crazy. In the past 7 days, we've shipped like 15 of them. So I'm playing, I have my Strymon El Capistan on now just for a little fun. I'm playing on the clean side of the Ventura with the bump on, and the volume's about 5.5 right now. Yeah, this were a Les Paul, I'd be breaking up a little bit, but and I just put a little tape echo on it just because I always do the sort of dry thing. So I thought today we'd play with some effects, maybe. I need to bring a few more in here, but Strat Oslo, is that another Norwegian? Wow, man, we have a great Norwegian contingent today. Fantastic. Appreciate you guys. The waiting crowd can take comfort in the fact that it's worth the wait. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I know it is the Norwegian tradition to bow, and I'm bowing to you. Thank you. That's really nice. And yeah, I was on Skype with Norway this morning. It's a Norwegian day, I guess. Scandinavia is really good to us. Blaine says, no rush. I'll buy one as soon as I pay off my London Pro and my little Elvis before my wife kills me. Tell your wife I'm sorry. My wife knows the drill. Hell, I started an amp company. I'm into amps so much. So, can you hear the body of the 412? In my headphones, it sounds really fat. I'm not really pushing the amp very hard right now. Just getting a big... push these mic channels a little bit more. Heat them up just a hair. Does that sound better? I just pushed my preamps a little bit. which might make them break up when I switch over to a humbucker, but... Is that saying clean? Bassface Josh. Hey, Doug Guillaume. Stratocaster Mojo. Hey, what's up, dude? Nice crowd today. Thank you, guys. I think that's too hot. Is that breaking up? I think I might have pushed it too hard. I know it sounds better with the preamps up, but Ustream chokes on it. Turn down my board just a bit. The chat seems to be working today, Doug. I'm getting some errors from Ustream again, but we'll see. How's it look? How's it sound? Look okay? Sound okay? Let me move some of these lights a little bit. Maybe we can get the amp a little more. Uh-oh. That wasn't good. Hang on a second. What's the one-liner for today? Yeah, Josh is always good for that, isn't he? There we go. Spread this a little bit. Get a little better light. How's that sound out there? Is it breaking up? Sounds good. Nice, clean. Okay, good. If I switch over to the channel 2, though. Addicted to the lunchtime chat. Right on. Thank you. Dirty 59, no breakup. Keep on rocking 62. Yo, D. Yo, yo, yo. Rocking 62. What it be? Is that too hot? I'm hearing some crackle in my phones. Let me check these channels really quick. Hang on a second. That's the 121. This is the 122. Is that breaking up? I think so. This is the room mic. Yeah, I think I'm getting... Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play clean with the preamps up, and then when I switch to a Les Paul, I'll... Put a little compression on. Bluesman Core 1965. Were you made in 1965 too? I think I might have to cool off my preamps. It's such a thing because if I run my little rig like I would to actually record this guitar, it sounds way better than what I have to run it for to make it not choke Ustream. So please be a little forgiving. Realize that I'm getting a little digital squish on it. McSec Stooges 5 says, "Hey Dan, can you discuss your take on the tonal and application differences between the London Pro and the Ventura?" Sure, yeah, that's a great question. I got that big 412 today, so I'm sorry if it's big fat. So I'm using a little bitty Ventura through one of our 412s, and it's actually a really cool stage rig. Yeah, if that's too hot, does it not sound good? Do I need to cool it back down? Let me just cool the board channels down, see. Yeah, I think it's my preamps. I'm just going to have to cool them down, and that just dulls the sound. I hate it. I have these really nice preamps. They're, BAE, British Audio Engineering. Mark Loffman makes them. And they sound ridiculous. And if I push them into Ustream, it can't handle it. Quick answer, Stratocaster Mojo. "Hey Dan, what speaker config are you loading in the 412? Just G12H30s. That's it. I'll make it with Alnico Blues if you want it. It's a significant upcharge. It's about a $600 upcharge to add 2 blues into it. If you want to do 4 blues, it gets really expensive. That's what Hendrix played at Monterey, though. Did you know that? He played all Alnicos in 67. That's all Marshall offered in their 412s. So his gear was 66 Marshalls. I'm just noodling around here. Okay, so this is a great question. It's going to take a few minutes to answer, so let me do it. Again, the question was, "Hey Dan, can you discuss your take on the tonal and application differences between a London Pro and a Ventura?" Sure. There's a lot of overlap there. Well, about 30-40% overlap between the two amps. But let me go over the topology of both amps, and so you understand kind of what they do. So the London Pro basically has 2 channels that are not lifted but heavily inspired from 2 of my favorite little amps from the 60s, which is the early AC-15 and the one that used the EF-86, which was only up to 64. After that, they quit doing it. So, hang on a second. I hear talking in the background. I think Ustream has some video going behind you guys. I do. It's like the Pope or something. Stop it. Holy Father. So, it's the AC-15 on one side and the Marshall 18 watt on the other. We didn't just copy those circuits though. They were just sort of the starting point. The very first amp I made is actually here in my office and can be bought for $20,000 right now. You're blessed. No, you're blessed, single coil one. What are you talking about? I'm lucky. That's what I am. I am a lucky man. So, anyway, the London Pro. So the AC-15 side of it is a single gain stage with an EF-86. And for those of you that aren't familiar with an EF-86, it's a really, really particular tube. But it sounds so good, you kind of tolerate some bad behavior from it. It's not something you can compare to a 12AX7. 12AX7s are sort of the guppy of the preamp tube world. They're very quiet. They're very rugged, but they don't have a huge dynamic range. An EF-86 is actually a pentode, so it has 3 grids on it. The gain factor on it is huge compared to a 12AX7. And because of that, it's a lot more detailed. It is just the fever talk. You can see me just sort of sweating here. This is how much I love you guys. Stay off the Beetlejuice. Hey, Tony! Tony Daniel, how you doing, man? Gosh, I miss you. The EF-86 is a little bit of a noisy tube, but it sounds so good. And so where they overlap is the Ventura. Right now, I'm on the clean side, which is just the EF-86. And it makes everything very articulate. But the big difference between the Ventura and the London Pro is the London Pro is an EL84 power section, which if you want to exploit those EL84s, you can get some really good British sound. So like the really early Beatles stuff was EL84s. Really early, like Please Please Me, that kind of stuff. From about 64 on, they were recording with EL34s. Even though they did ads for the AC30, they only played them in 62 and 63. By the time they came here in 64, when they played on Ed Sullivan, they were playing AC50s, which are EL34 amps. So that's where they kind of overlap. But the difference is the power tubes have such different characteristics. So what we try to do is sort of exploit those. On the London Pro, you get this jangly, beatly British thing, where you can sit around and go, ooh, that's too hot. I can hear it. Let me turn this down. Sorry. I got to click my preamps down a notch. Hear them get dull when I just go down? Let me try this again. Hold on a second. These channels are... Either that or my headphones just blew up. Do you hear that buzz? Do you guys hear that buzz? It's right on D for some reason. Might be the room, I guess. Must be the room, some resonant frequency. Anyway, so now the big difference is, though, on the London Pro, the other channel is a 12AX7, like a really, really early Marshall thing. And that is a single gain stage, not the dual gain stage like a JTM45 or Plexis and stuff. It's a single gain stage with a 12AX7, so it gets this really round, warm, natural sound. It's really cool. And then on the London Pro, you can then combine those two channels where you run the EF-86 into the 12AX7. And you get a lot higher gain. And then the volume knobs for each channel become the gain knobs for those individual tubes. So the vocabulary possibilities are just insane on that amp. It's really fun. It's all hand wired, so we can't put in a ton of switching on it. So what you can do is go from channel 1 to channel 2 or combine them. And so you have to kind of preset it where you like it's going to be, because when you hand wire an amp, I just can't put in tons of switching or the amp will be the size of my desk and be one huge radio antenna we're kind of limited on the amount of switching you can put in a hand-wired amp and make it function. But pulling that off was actually quite a hat trick. It took us a couple years. I don't think it's cone cry. This amp's not up very loud. It's only on D. You guys hear it though, right? Anyway, sometimes everything in here vibrates. And the cabinet's just on the other side of this wall, and something can happen. We'll live with it today. So that's what you can do on the London Pro. So you have three kind of options there that you can always hit. You have to kind of preset where those three options are, because there's really about 20 options. And then the EF86 side has a booster built into it. So you can have a clean EF86 feeding a 12AX7, a gained up EF86 feeding a 12AX7, vice versa. You know, like you can turn the gain all the way up on a 12X7 and keep it really clean on EF86. And when you combine them, you get really neat combination of sounds. You get the clean jangle with some good fat raunch underneath it, you know. Or if you gain them both up, it gets very metally, not metal, but hard rock sounding. Up a little bit. See, I turned my preamps down now, and so anyway, that's the London Pro. On the Ventura, it's pretty interesting. It's more like our Soho kind of setup, where I have the EF86 by itself, and then when you go to the dirty side, you're adding in a 12AX7. So you can go from the color channel on the London or the London Pro into sort of a Soho setup. But the big difference is we're using 6V6s on this amp. And we made some different component choices, just values. We use the same parts, but we use the same, to make it sound a little more American. And the transformers are, of course, very different. Different voltages, it's very... So I wanted to get something that was sort of like late 50s through early 60s American sound. The amps hadn't got up to being high voltage and juiced out of their minds for uber clean sound yet, but they still were really, really dynamic. And so you can... That's too much for my preamps. I can hear it. Let me turn this compressor off. I had the Strymon compressor on there for a second. It's too much, isn't it? All right, let me turn her down. My software update's running 12:30 every day. So, sorry, Fever's working on me. Yes, Blaine. So, let's see. Let me get back to the original question. Tonal and application difference. So that's sort of the tonal thing, and the structure of the amp. So application wise, I think it gets down to personal preference, really. If you're a British focused person, you want British focused sounds, I think that the London Pro is the way to go. If you need a little bit cleaner stuff, more American sound. I'm getting errors from Ustream here. I hope you guys are able to hear me. Check 1 2. Check. Hi, Tartan Special. I didn't know you were here. Yeah. Question. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm sorry. I have a little fever today. You can see it on my face now. So anyway, back to reality. The Ventura is just more of an American thing. And if you want more of later Mike Campbell, Eagles, Joe Walsh, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, I think the Ventura is a way to go. It's very versatile. It's a lot more versatile than most American amps, but let me switch guitars too. Are you guys hearing me? I'm getting these errors like crazy now. Sound better, less distortion when it's breaking up. More errors. Disco fever. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, that's it. Disco fever, man. Have a fever. Sit there drinking elderberry wine. I can't remember the words. I just remember that one line. And they was dancing and swinging and moving to the groove. Play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, yeah. Yes. Disco. You got it recorded now. This is a good question, Strat Oslo. It says, I'm curious about some of the design choices on the Ventura. Why not separate bass and treble controls, and why no LEDs to indicate channel selection? All about the price. No, actually, the LEDs, I think that's a fair complaint. We're just trying to keep it simple. No separate treble and bass controls are for a reason, for a very specific reason. Not about money, because it doesn't really cost much more to put in a treble and bass. It cost me like another $10 or something. But it's about the sound. When you have an amp that's working correctly, the more controls you put on it, the worse it sounds. There's no way around it. Les Paul, please. Yeah, okay, I'll get it. That's a good idea. So a tone knob is really just a top cut. That's all it is. You're just rolling treble in or out. That's all it is. So it doesn't do much, but it lets your guitar come through a lot clearer. A tone, because it's not really a tone stack. It's just a top cut. So now if I build a tone stack, then the guitar signal has to go through about 20 more solder joints and more wire, and every part that you connect together has to have a coupling capacitor, and coupling capacitors affect the tone. So by the time I just put in a treble and bass knob, I've added 15 or 20 more solder joints, which degrades the sound, and I've added in pots, which degrade the sound, and I've added in resistors, which degrade the sound, and I've added in capacitors, which degrade the sound. Now, I think it's fair for you to accuse me of splitting hairs. I think that's fine. It's just my opinion that they sound better. If you can get but it puts more pressure on you to use the right components and the right tubes. Because if I were to skimp on doing this, it would show up, I mean, really bad. Would show up and not be good. So I can't get away with anything like this. Cat scratch fever. And why no LEDs to indicate channel selection? That's not really about the price. It's just the amp has actually turned out to be more complicated than I wanted it to. I had a lot of requests to do a bone simple amp, and I got carried away. So we still might do sort of a strip version of the Ventura. It doesn't have all that, but the main problem is the switching. To combine tubes like this takes a lot of switching and a lot of relays, and it just got busier than I wanted it to. Yeah, the LED though is something to definitely consider. It really wasn't about price. I mean, to me, it's pretty distinct. Like, I can hear it. And I kind of, I'm falling off my chair here. What happened, Paul? Oh, you're laughing at me singing disco songs? Is the chat getting way behind now? Yeah, I do have a fever. That's right, Frank. 5x5. Tartan Special asked a question back here I don't want to miss. Where did it go? Did you delete your own question? Oh, yeah, here it is. Are there still plans, when time allows, for an update on the Blue Line London? Yes. Yes, sir. I've been holding off on that for a couple of reasons, one of which is my wholesale prices have gone through the roof in the past 4 years. So to add that functionality that's in the London Pro to the Blue Line London is going to raise the price quite a bit. But yeah, I get a lot of requests for that. I can just give you a clue. My wholesale costs on building amps the way that I like to build them, which is pretty neurotic, is my wholesale costs have gone up 63% in the past 4 years. So most of my peers or competitors or friendly rivals, however you want to describe it, have gone for cheaper components. And I'm trying really, really hard to avoid that. So I either have to make less of an amp or, I have to adjust. And I'm going to decide to adjust. I just, I can't make average stuff. Ken Fisher 101. Yeah. Well, yeah, look at a train wreck, man. Those are some simple amps. They're really simple. And that's why they sound so good. I mean, you guys heard that train wreck I played here a few weeks ago, which I still have and is still for sale if anybody wants it. That thing is bone simple. I mean, you look inside of there, you just go, is that it? But it's perfect, because it's simple. Knobs and switches don't really add anything that you don't already have, sort of like Oz never gave the Tin Man anything he didn't already have. So it's an opinion, it's a choice. I could make amps with 24 knobs and 16 switches on them, and design them on a printed circuit board, and you just have an amp. There's no way to make those sound. There's a certain ceiling you hit with that. They will only sound so good. And there's a few people that do it really, really well to me. And then most people don't. Our next door neighbor here, Reinhold Bogner, I think does a really good job of doing that. But it's just a lot of circuitry for a tube amp. And tubes just don't lend themselves to really complex circuitry. And it's just not my thing. You know, I just kind of play guitar. I want an amp that's got some power and sitting behind me and blah, 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 blah. Oh, Bill Strange has got the lyrics to play that funky music. One time I was a funky playing in a rock and roll band. All right, Les Paul time. I do have a Les Paul here. Cool. Hang on one sec. It's my dark Les Paul. So we'll adjust for that. I have a Junior and my Elliott Tone Master here also. I hope this is remotely in tune. I didn't have time to check it. Sorry. Sounds less phasey, Josh. Is it still kind of phasey? Sounds all right. Let me run it to a tuner really quick. Chad is lagging, yeah. Way behind. Yeah, it looks like it's about 4 minutes behind. Wow. Man, I've been looking. I'm telling you, I've been looking for every alternative to this that I can. I don't know if they're forcing me to upgrade my account or whatever. I already pay quite a bit just to get the commercials off, which was a big surprise. Like, suddenly you guys said, hey, there's commercials everywhere. So now I'm paying like $300 a month to not have commercials on. And this is getting silly. I think a lot of it too is the number of people logging onto the show has gone up dramatically. So I get a lot of emails from people saying, I showed up late and I couldn't get on. Okay, Les Paul. We got to keep playing disco. Is that it? With the echo, how's it sound with the echo? If there's anybody that would be your friendly rivals, I have a lot of friendly rivals. This business is pretty fun. Like half the guys in this business are really cool, and the other half aren't. But the cool ones are just fantastic, and feel free to call those guys out if you're curious. There's some really cool guys in the business. Fred Tacone's great. I don't really know him very well, but we communicate a little bit. And I met Joe Morgan at NAMM. He's really cool. Phil Jameson over at Matchless, really nice guy. George Metropolis is a dear, dear friend. Just a fantastic person. Tape echo. I'm not hearing any treble in here, though. Are you guys? Is it really dull sounding? Let me turn these down just a bit. It's because the preamps are down. Like they're barely on. It's the weirdest setup I have to do for Ustream. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to blend printed and hand wire, and I thought about doing that just for functionality, but I just don't have time to dig into it right now. Trust me, I got 1,000 ideas. I'm like the guy on Maggie's Farm in the Bob Dylan song, you know. I got hundreds of ideas in my head, but Maggie makes me sweep the floor. What was I playing a minute ago? I had it in my head. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. So if you're in Los Angeles, I'm going to be playing with my little pickup band on Saturday at Colfax Elementary School doing a fundraiser. It's Dina Carter, the country singer, Mark Goldenberg, who plays guitar for Jackson Browne, Kirk Helly, who is serious hard rockin' sideman and composer here in LA. Dusty Wakeman playing bass. So if you've ever heard a Dwight Yoakam record, you've heard Dusty Wakeman. And then Brian Mendes from Colossal Cable playing drums. That swinging band. And we're going to play some songs. It's for the Burbank Music Academy fundraiser that works with our school, and the kids form a band. And they there's like 20 kid bands that they do through this music academy. And so the whole event, they charge a door charge to raise money for the school. And it usually raises like a lot of money, thousands of dollars. And so it's in Valley Village, California, Saturday night, if you want to show up and donate some money to my kids' school. But my kids have a band, and they're playing Revolution. And my kids are so young, we had to move it to E from B. It was hilarious. And now I can't even sing the song in B. I can't remember how it goes. I've been practicing with them. I'm going to play with them as well, besides my own little band. Our band's called the Valley Village Idiots. Every village has its idiot, and we're the Valley Village Idiots. It's a great band, though. I'm the complete amateur compared to everyone in the band, but... But yeah, my kids are doing Revolution in E. What's the note? You say you want a revolution, well, you know. I mean, in E, it's so high. It's crazy. Let me turn this down a little bit. Man, I'm just killing Ustream, aren't I? Instead of... You say you want a revolution, well, you know, we all want to change the world. Yes, so come see it. My kids are doing Revolution. There's kids doing AC/DC songs. There's kids doing modern hard rock. It's all rock and roll. There's no pop music at all. There's one band doing a whatchamadoodle song. Man, this fever is killing me. I can't think. Runaways song. One band doing a Joan Jett song. Like, it's really cool. It's really, really fun. So, Colfax Elementary School. So, Dina Carter is going to sing a song. And Dina is... I don't know if you ever heard Dina Carter sing. You know, she had a bunch of country hits in the 90s. And She wrote "You and Tequila," the song that Kenny Chesney just won a bunch of awards for. Great songwriter, sings like an absolute angel. And we're, oh gosh, here comes a bunch of stuff. Mike Zate also, thank you, Doug. Mike Zate's a very nice guy. I like Mike Zate a lot. Very, very nice person. I left him off, and that was a mistake. You're right, Doug. Yeah, this is a dark guitar, too. It's a really dark guitar. So we're trying to get Dina to do Folsom Prison Blues, but I heard this guy auditioning for The Voice. It's so crazy, you know, where this stuff comes from. And he changed one line of the song, and it made me think about how you could change the whole song and make it good. You guys want to hear it really quick? I ask as if there's a choice, right? Let me see if I can do it, because Dina sings really high, and it's so soulful, and she can just kill this stuff. So it's sort of like a bluesy version of Folsom Prison Blues, right? I hear that train coming around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps rolling on. Well, that train keeps rolling on down to San Antonio. What, that's cool as a blues tune, right? With the little country guitar behind it. When I was a young boy, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. Well, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. And when I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. And then we're going to come in with like, you know, like stomp it up. So anyway, that's the plan. That's the thought. I kind of like that, though. It's like, you know where I got it? I totally ripped it off. I mean, I expanded it, but there was a kid who auditioned on The Voice with an acoustic guitar and did that. I hear that train coming round the bend, and I ain't seen that part. He did it just on one verse, and then I took it to the rest, to the logical extension of that. I thought it was cool. That was amazing. You know, I mean, Cash is still one of my idols. I'm a man of many different tastes. And early Johnny from the 50s up through the early 70s is ridiculous. Like good music. Heartfelt country music. Not pickup truck beer drinking nonsense. It was really well written stuff. And his lyrics were on par with anybody. It's sort of the country Bob Dylan, you know. But you listen to the words of even Folsom Prison Blues, which is one of his very first hits, you know. That's quite a sad story he's telling. And how the train goes by and it makes him realize the error in his ways. And he repents and trying to forgive himself. That's pretty heavy stuff. Very heavy stuff. I get goosebumps talking about it. Cash can move you. So it's kind of fun to do that because Dina Carter's dad was Fred Carter, who was, I think, the most recorded guitar player in Nashville. Played with Cash. Played with Roy Orbison. He was in Roy Orbison's band. He was the guy that did the... stuff. And I'm going to turn this echo off. Plug straight in right now. Let's just go straight in. Yeah, Fred Carter played with everybody. So to do that song with Dina is kind of exciting. It's quite an honor, I think. Quite an honor. All right, good questions here. Let me get back to business. What are the difference in preamp covers, metal and other options versus none? Tone, RF, etc. Please, your thoughts. You talking about covering the preamp tubes? I personally don't like metal tube covers. They're put in there to tame the tube down and keep them quiet. There's other ways of making the tube quiet. But the problem is, there's an electrical storm going on in that tube. And when you put a metal cover around it, it just blows back right into the tube. I think they sound better without the tube shield on. Anything but metal sounds good. We heat shrink some of our tubes just to keep the microphonics down. But I don't like metal tube shields. They do shield the tube, but they degrade the sound. In my opinion, take it with a grain of salt. I've spent a fair amount of time doing that, trying it, but it's just an opinion. My opinion's really no more valid than anyone else's. The tube to me sounds more focused without the tube shield on. Your string detail and clarity is noticeably better without the tube shield on, because there's not that mess flying around inside that metal that kind of just is static. That's what it comes across musically as. So I hope that answers your question. Keep rocking 62. I know the chat's way behind now. Martin Gooseland says, are you coming to Norway this year? I'd really like to. The problem is getting to Europe right now is incredibly expensive because of the Olympics. I was going to go to France and do a clinic and then go to England and then come up to Norway this summer. And it was going to cost me 4 times what it normally does to do that. So I think it might be in the fall. Yeah, it sounds out, doesn't it? Yeah, Ustream's not. Are you guys still there? I know, I think the chat's minutes behind now. It's crazy. I got to get on the phone with Ustream and see what this is all about. Talking about my backyard at Folsom. That's right. That's right. Oh, 12:53 and it's 1:02. So it's 9 minutes behind now. That's unbelievable. After we get done, I'm going to get on the phone with their customer service and see what's going on. Are any of you guys on Facebook? We can run a little test here. Let me get on my Facebook page. Can just one of you guys jump on the Facebook chat? And we can see what the real situation is here. Just on my personal page, Dan Boul. Neck pickup mud. Okay, cool. John, Ida, and Doug Guillaume are here. So, can you send me a message right now on Facebook? Just say hello. Type the number 1, whatever, on Facebook. Bunch of guys. Hi, Bill Strange, showing up. John's typing. Okay, so it's not the internet. Hello, 1. Okay, it's Ustream. My phone's going crazy. All right, thank you, guys. That's good. Bill's typing. Hey, Bill. Hey, Cor. John, what's happening? Yeah, something's not working right. I'm sorry, guys. That's a real pain in the butt. I apologize. Because the last message that I show on my chat window is from 12:53, and it just showed up like 2 minutes ago. And my clock on my computer says 1:01. So this is crazy. Yeah, I'll see what's going on. Well, guys, I'm a little bit under the weather, and you can see the sweat on my forehead. I need to be powdered for the camera. You gotta hear my crazy version of Folsom Prison Blues. A lot of opinions. I hope you guys know that I'm answering your questions. Yeah, here's some. 12:55 just came in. Johnny does the blues. Yeah, if you liked it, I thought it was kind of fun, you know, because it's a song we've all heard a lot, and it's only good if you hear Johnny do it. You know, it's one of those tunes when you hear someone else singing it, it doesn't matter because they're not Cash. You know, Cash was the Pied Piper. That guy had that thing. I saw him in person several times when I was young, and the man was someone who owned the room. I've never been, there's a couple people maybe that I've been in where they walk out on the stage and you're just hypnotized by them. And Cash was one of those guys. Crazy. He came out and said, "Hi, I'm Johnny Cash." And the whole place, it was like, it just did it. I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it. It affected me that much when I was a kid. And the way he sang, I mean, you felt everything he did. I saw him with June and, you know, watched him do Jackson and stuff like that. And, oh, my God. But I saw him do Folsom Prison Blues once. It was just him and an acoustic guitar. And I saw it once with the whole band. And I saw him once with the Highwaymen, too. I saw the Highwaymen, which was him and Chris Christopherson and Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson. I grew up in Missouri. You get exposed to a lot of different kinds of music. And, you know, I'd go see Rush one weekend and then go see the Highwaymen the next. It was pretty good. Yeah. So I thought it was a decent twist on the song just to sort of, okay, I'm not going to imitate Johnny Cash. But it's such a great song, everybody wants to sing it, you know. It's such a meaningful tune. Middle position. Well, I hear that train coming around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps rolling on. Well, I hear that whistle blowing on down to San Antonio. I can't help myself, sorry. You know how sensitive that EF86 is? When I was a young boy, Mama told me, son, always be a good boy. Don't ever play with guns. Well, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. I gotta remember all the rest of the words. All right, Doug Guillaume says, I still haven't figured out how to use my Echo. I've taken it completely off my live board. Why, Doug? What do you need? We can help you. Got a lot of smart guys on the line here. What's your setup? That 412's fat, too. I'll have to do a 112 next week just for comparison. You like the Roy Orbison lick, Josh? Pretty woman, walking down the street. Pretty woman, kind I'd like to meet. Pretty woman, don't walk away. Can't sing that high at all, especially when I don't feel good. Frustrating, I can't see the chat now. 12:59 is the last comment that showed up, and I know you guys are typing stuff in, so I think I should bail out. It's getting very frustrating for you, I'm sure, and for me as well. And as you can see by the shine on my forehead, the medicine I took for this fever is wearing off. Which is crazy. Yeah, nothing. And I can't refresh this window. That's what sucks. There's no way to refresh it. Not responding. Well, crud. On that happy note, I'm going to shut it down. We'll hang out here and talk for a second. Let's see. Hold on. Cable mix up here. Headphones and instrument cables. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is just getting silly. Now some stuff came in. 101. Got to run, Dan. Thanks for doing the show despite having a fever. Oh, it's my pleasure. Any plans? Oh. I got to answer this one. I'll call her right back. Yeah, I'm going to have to run. Any plans for a 212 Apollo cab? Yes. It's just one of those things I can't get around to because I don't have time. Thank you, Paul, for being here. Stratocaster Mojo, big lag on Ustream. Facebook was fine. Yeah, sucks. A big shout out to FS75 if you're watching or watching the recording. I got some fantastic t-shirts from you that I'll share, one of them on the show next week. I love them. One of them is not for public consumption, but the other one is. So I'm going to chew out the people on Ustream right now, and I'm in a fevered rage, so they'll forgive me if I scream and yell, right? Anyway, thank you guys. Sincerely, I appreciate you very much. If there's questions here that I didn't get to, I apologize. I can't see them. Hot. Headphones are on. Hot. Oh, look at that. Yikes. So I will get to your questions. I'm very sorry if you had something important you want to talk about. You can always email me at dan@65amps.com. And I'm on Facebook and all those sorts of good things. So just let me know what I can do for you. And once again, the Venturas are starting to ship like crazy, so that's a good thing. And lots of good stuff going on. And if you're in LA, come to Colfax Elementary School on Saturday night. And hopefully listen to Dina Carter sing some amazing stuff. I'll sing a couple songs too, but mostly Dina, who's fantastic. So anyway, love you fellas. We'll talk very soon. And we'll see you next week. If you have any suggestions for next week's show, please let me know. All right, take care. Bye-bye.